Oh, what a rush. And isn't this a rush? How about this? The dynamic duo, Mike Vrabel and Joe Mazzulla, hanging out at training camp. Damn, it looks hot out there, Case.
I don't know if it looks hot, but all I see is how inquisitive Joe Mazzulla looks, and I'm just like, what are these two dudes talking about? Like, maybe Mazzulla's picking Vrab's brain about what to do. What to do.
Maybe.
We have to figure out a lot of what to do's.
Greg, keep that video ready. We could do a little voiceover for what could be happening there. Travis Thomas, the Kasey Hudson here on Foxborough Rush. Happy to have you. Let's have some fun. Let's go back to the VO, Greg. You be Mike Vrabel, I'll be Joe Mazzulla. Ready? So you're just cool. You're you.
You're Vrabes?
You're Vrabes.
Okay.
Hey, Coach. So how do you do this exactly? Like this coaching thing?
So for starters, you figure out yourself.
Oh.
And then you decide how to translate it into your roster.
Okay.
And then you should hire somebody that has a game plan for off seasons, you know, because when brains come together, it helps.
So I can't shoot threes every time.
You probably should get a little versatile, you know?
Okay.
You don't want to be so predictable.
Okay.
You know how you get to championship caliber conversations?
Yeah.
Less predictability.
Okay. I do have a championship, that's for sure, but it came from shooting threes, so I'm just trying to learn. Now I have Anthony Simons and Luka Garza, so things are a little different for me, Coach. That was very good. Good job.
I thought it was bad. I didn't do good, but it's fine. We're improving.
Not enough Vrabel?
Yeah, I didn't do well for Vrabes.
All right, well, let's let Vrabes speak for Vrabes. He talked about having Joe Mazzulla at camp today. Here it is.
Oh, Joe's fantastic. I mean, I appreciate him, just from the time that I got here, reaching out. We're probably different personalities. And I think that's probably the thing I appreciate most about him. He's always trying to learn and gain knowledge, different ways about building a team, about strategy, about scheme, about inspiring players to do their job better. So I always love my conversations with him, and I'm excited that he could come out here with his son today. His son's a football player at Zavarian, outside linebacker.
I wonder if that was his son walking with him, because there was another person there. Maybe that was him walking with them. But
probably.
You know what stood out to me there in that soundbite was actually that they're different personalities. Because in a lot of ways, in all seriousness, they're very similar to me. They're both intense. I mean, every coach kind of has these traits, right? They're both intense, no nonsense. They're both motivators. I give Vrabel, as the jokes I was making in the VO, I give Vrabel all the props in the world schematically for the X's and O's. I think Joe has a lot of work to do there. But personality-wise, I think they're very similar. So hearing them say that they have different personalities was a little shocking to me.
Funny that that's what you got from that.
Yeah.
'Cause I also wrote down different personalities, but I could see them having different personalities. Because he kind of bridged that whole different personalities and then went on to talk about different approaches to game planning and stuff like that. So maybe in terms of how they structure things out or how they see things to apply structure could be different. But I feel like Vrabel's so straight edge.
He's kind of, yes.
And Mazzulla.
No nonsense.
Yeah, but Mazzulla gives a little bit more, I feel like you can get more hype out of him, or everyone talks about energy and excitement. I can't imagine Vrabel running out and being a hype guy.
I think he is in a different way. I think it's a more intensity to him maybe than Mazzulla's style, which is more like rah-rah.
Yeah.
Mazzulla has a little more rah-rah, right?
Yes.
Is that fair to say? Where Vrabel's more, for lack of a better term, badass.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're different.
We cracked that code. All right, now let's get into the players of all this. So Jordan Schultz actually reported yesterday that Christian Gonzalez, as we know he suffered that hamstring injury on Monday's practice, will sideline him for a bit. So it's what we thought. Nothing catastrophic here.
Thank God.
He's told it won't impact his week 1 availability. Thank God. Mm-hmm. Now, I told you this when this happened, and look, I think we're in lockstep here, but I don't need to see any more Christian Gonzalez. I'm good. Camp, just wave at everyone, shake a couple hands, sign some autographs, kiss some babies, take pictures. I don't need to see any more of him at camp. I damn sure don't need to see him in the preseason. just rest.
Yeah.
Like, hamstrings linger. I don't need it. Let's get it 100%. I need you in week 1, you and Carlton both.
Right.
Take your time. That's how I see this. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, absolutely, because I think that part of all of the larger conversations that have taken place in regards to anything with Patriots defense, it's how much we know and feel confident that Christian's going to take that next step and be that much more impactful. I think that he already made a jump on the list when it comes to PFF predictions of where he'll land for the upcoming season. So you don't have to see too much. Players have talked about how they would like to see this preseason shake out differently, and we're still trying to find the right recipe for that.
Yes.
So I think you made a great point to also mention, like, hamstring injuries, they can be sneaky, and you don't want to put this guy in a position where he feels pressured
That's right.
to be on and available full go, and really that can put him out if he pushes it throughout training camp as well as preseason.
Well, you can speak on this better than me. You're a way better athlete than I ever was. But to my understanding, with hamstrings, they linger because they never fully heal.
Yeah.
So my thing is, if it's lingering, it's kind of your fault because it was like, oh, you're feeling better? Okay, get back out there. No. Like, this is training camp. Look, to be honest, I saw what I needed from Christian Gonzalez last season. I needed to see him stay healthy for a full season. He did it. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that because his rookie year, he got hurt, the shoulder. I get it. So in year 2, there was questions. Is he injury prone? Can he stay healthy? He did. He dominated. Check.
Yeah.
Chill. Like, now in year 3, I need that guy again.
Yeah.
And if your hamstring lingers into the regular season, I'm putting that on you, Patriots, because you kept asking this kid to go back out there. I was studying this so hard. I saw a tweet with a video of Christian Gonzalez at yesterday's practice, walking around, doing the things that I said, shaking hands, kissing babies, signing autographs. He didn't have a limp. He was in street clothes, but I'm looking at this video, studying it like I'm True Detective, because I'm like, is there a limp? Does he look? And he looks fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Shut him down. Rest him. Just have him week 1. That's all I care about. Here's Mike Vrabel on not only Christian Gonzalez getting back to health, but Carlton Davis, who we brought up too, as well. Babying these guys, getting them back, because we need them back in this lineup.
Mike, we haven't seen you since Christian Gonzalez was out the other day. Any updates on him?
No updates. I mean, I wouldn't expect him here this week. And, you know, just like everybody else, I know he's working extremely hard to get back and, you know, focus on what he can do as opposed to what he can't. But, you know, I wouldn't expect to see him this week.
A few days ago, you described Mike a day off for Carlton Davis as maintenance. Is that still the case with him? Would you still call him?
There's a plan. I mean, I think it's just making sure that he's ready to go. It's a long season, veteran player. You know, there'll be guys that have different plans, like I said, whether that be Morgan or maybe Harold today, really just trying to put this thing all together and make sure that everybody that needs to get to work for an evaluation purposes, a lot of different reasons. Sometimes it is health related, but also I feel like, you know, Harold won't be out there, or Morgan may come out for individual, or some players may come out for team. Try to just give everybody what they need for the season.
That list of guys who are out right now and banged up continues to grow this early in camp. It's a little concerning, but it does happen. And Kasey, there's nothing catastrophic, at least as of yet.
Right.
Knock on wood that doesn't happen, right?
Right.
But as it pertains to Gonzalez, you heard Vrabel there. We're not going to see him at least the rest of the week. So I will get my wish for 1 week. Like, just rest. Sleep in a hyperbaric chamber, please, and get that thing healthy. Hopefully it extends if I get my way. But look, if anything, Carlton Davis is out, Christian Gonzalez is out. We're all banking on those two being really, if not the best, one of the best 1-2 punches at corner in the league. But right now, these other guys, the young guys, they're getting reps at corner. That's a good thing. That helps the team in totality, right?
100%, because something that you want to see, even though there's a lot of new implementations taking place, is where does the depth lie? Because we're about to have that conversation in a completely different aspect later on here on Foxborough Rush. But those reps are going to be crucial in terms of seeing, okay, where do we have accountable depth? And for game planning, depending on who your opponent is heading into certain situations. So when you know that a Carlton Davis is a little banged up and you don't want to put him through it, then you know who to call on next that can get you through. So I think that they're still very important reps. And then, I mean, again, having covered Carlton Davis once. Like, if you trust your guys to be in the playbook and understand how to make that translate when it's time to suit up, then you're good to go. Most veterans are probably pros when it comes to taking their rest time and having maintenance. And, like, you've seen a lot more maintenance implementation for veterans specific. So that, I think, is going to be fine once we get these two back.
Okay, so you and I, we've talked Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis. You heard Vrabel talk there about them and Harold Landry as well. But how about this? The offensive line already, again, nothing catastrophic here, but 3 linemen had to leave from injuries. Morgan Moses, Garrett Bradbury, Yasir Durant all left practice early. This was yesterday's session. So, I mean, look, this is the one area, I know you alluded to this, this is the one area where the Patriots quite literally cannot afford to lose any damn body because, Casey, it's a Rubik's Cube right now in terms of who's playing what.
That is already a problem.
You're trying to figure it all out, and we'll get into that deeper in the show, but you're already trying to figure it out and mix and match here, and then you got guys getting hurt and going down. Morgan Moses participated in one-on-ones against defensive linemen, and he left shortly after. He did come back to the practice. He didn't participate, but he was out there hanging out. That's a good sign. Garrett Bradbury, same thing. He was in a pile, 11-on-11 play. He was slow to get up. He walked gingerly off the field. Again, came back, hung out, but didn't play. So these are not major concerns. He wasn't in practice today either. Not major concerns, but certainly with an offensive line that is a major concern, the bang-ups, you just can't have it.
No, because you have guys that you're trying to figure out where do you actually work on this offensive line so that we can take the next step from last season. I mean, you're talking about a categorically pretty bad or rough offensive line. And with some of the musical chairs that they're now playing in this, like, you think that versatility is a great thing. And yeah, it usually implies as such. But like, when you have so many different new things taking place at the same time, you want there to be an anchor, and that anchor usually should start on that offensive line. So you don't want to hear about these injuries. The best part, or not best part, the more positive glimmer here is the competition aspect for what little depth there is, and that's coming in more so at the center position. But even that took a bit of a turn at training camp today, because what we were rumored to hear is a competition between Jared Wilson and Bradbury. Now you're looking at a different competition that could be taking place, and I'm trying to figure it out.
So obviously now, to your point, with Bradbury's situation, you're seeing Cole Strange at center. You're seeing Jared Wilson at center. How about this? I had to say, who, respectfully, Alec Lindstrom? Anyone? Boston College? Center from Boston College. He's a Boston College alum, number 61 today. He was wearing that at practice. He was there, and people were saying, who's this? Who is this? You need them because you need bodies right now. That's how bad things are. We'll get into Jared Wilson later in the show, but I will say this. Whether Strange, Wilson, Bradbury, whatevs, who can play the damn position? Because one thing about Wilson, and we'll do this more next segment, but he was drafted, and I remember when they said he was drafted, his versatility is why he's getting drafted. Yes, he's a center, but he's capable of playing guard. And I think up and down this offensive line, you have to have guys like this who can, and I know you just said, well, the versatility can hurt you sometimes too, but in this case, specific to this team, you have to have guys that can play all these positions, because clearly we've seen.
Because that's supplementing your depth, is that where you're going?
Well, yes, and they're not good, Casey. I'm trying to be nice, but this offensive line isn't good. So you need guys, if it's not working, whatever combo you come up with, you need to be able to say, nah, that didn't work. We need to move him to guard, him to center, him to. You have to be able to do that until you figure out the winning combo.
I worry about the learning curve of stuff like that, though, because once you start moving guys around, and then depending on who you're going up against, then you're looking to mix things up yet again, and then it just kind of takes you out of any sort of rhythm
cohesion
that you can potentially.
And offensive linemen need gelling together.
And I emphasize this for one reason. You have a sophomore quarterback in the pocket.
Yes.
You want to be playing musical chairs with your offensive line.
You don't. But let me devil's advocate.
Advocate.
Because you're right. Offensive line, maybe more than any position, needs time to gel. Okay? So we agree there. However, in this case, your offensive line is so bad, how long will you stick with a losing combination? You with me? If you have guys in every position and you want cohesion, okay? I get it. So you're going to stick that out hell or high water. Well, if these guys are getting beat like a drum every Sunday and giving up sacks, and your sophomore quarterback starts getting knocked upside his head and
Yeah.
he's getting hurt, you can't stick with that combo. That's where I'm at, which is why, and we can't do anything now. It's another conversation for another rush, right? But I was saying all off season leading up to this point, you got to do more.
Yeah.
I didn't think Will Campbell and Morgan Moses was enough.
Yeah.
You have to do more, and I don't think they addressed it. I would have loved, going back into time, I don't have a time machine, but I would have loved them to draft 2 tackles.
Oh.
Like first, second round
Was this one
status.
of the you and George debates that went down?
No, well, don't bring George up because if George was
I wanted
here,
to give Georgie some
let me
love.
just let everyone know that you all already know because we're all family here on Foxborough Rush. If George was here, we would already be breaking down each offensive lineman's footwork, handwork, arm size, wingspan. Like I'm not, I ain't him. Okay, you want to talk touchdowns and interceptions? I have entered the chat. You start talking arm length and dancing feet for these big men, I'm out of here. You saw my feet.
It's not
right?
that bad.
You saw my feet, right?
Yeah, you're up too high though.
I know. I'm out of it. See what I mean? That's what I'm saying. A low man don't win. I ain't no damn offensive line. So I say all that to say, if it's a losing combo that you have, offensive line, and you're getting beat like a drum, you can't run the ball, your quarterback's under duress, which we have seen 2 years in a row around here, then you can't stick with that. You have to mix and match to see what works. I just hate that the Patriots are in that position again, it appears.
Yeah, I'd say I hate that they're in that position again already.
Yes.
But if anything, if all of this change up between Strange being at center and then throwing him, kicking him back out at left guard, vice versa for Jared Wilson, then you want to be able to solidify their strengths now.
Agreed.
Because they are being asked to do both and against Wilson being a notable center, but could he be looking better at guard? Some of these things have been disregarded because of the time frame that you're talking about.
Yes.
Wilson getting some reps out at guard, I feel like was more so because there was some unstable snaps already,
right.
and they weren't. There's not much time to add behind it, so that's why I get concerned about timeline.
Well, Wilson at least is a rookie. I'll give him a pass.
Yeah.
What I'll say about Cole Strange that's very concerning to me. First of all, it's almost unfair because of where he was drafted and when he was drafted. He already had too high of expectations. That's Bill's fault. That's not Cole Strange's fault. That's Bill Belichick's fault. But just talking on the field with this kid, since he has been here, what has he done? He can't stay healthy. When he is in there, it appears as though he can play, but then he gets hurt again. So he's already, Cole Strange I'm talking about, is already, Casey, in a position where it's, or get off the pot time for his career. If he gets hurt again this year, there's already people saying he's a draft bust. I'm not there yet. But if he gets hurt again this year, or he's healthy and he's ineffective, and it's like, well, we put him at center, we put him at guard, he can't play either one. He's a draft bust. He's a wasted pick at this point. I am at the point with Cole Strange. He has got to give me something this year, or I'm completely giving up and washing my hands of him.
So where do you think he can make the strongest case for himself, center or guard?
Either, because he has that versatility, I think it's going to end up being center. You know why? And we'll get into this when we come back. I think left guard is already done. Oh. I think a kid won that position today. How's that for a tease?
I know. I was going to say he didn't even tell me.
How's that for a tease?
Who this is and what?
Yes. Well, now you know.
Now, you said tease.
I think the person we're going to talk about coming up here on Foxborough Rush just won that position. But look, again, it's the combination platter here.
Yeah.
If, for whatever reason, Strange at center isn't working, then try him at guard. Who cares? Just find, I guess my point is just find something that freaking works, where you can run the ball and you can protect Drake May. That's all I ask for. Is that too much to ask?
Maybe not. I ask that it gets solidified through preseason.
You want a traditional offensive line. You want them to work out the kinks and the bugs now, and by the time we get to week 1, this is our O-line, and it's strong, and we have confidence.
Yeah. I mean, I'd feel a little peeved if we're week 3 and still playing offensive line musical chairs.
That's what you're asking for is a normal, healthy offensive line.
And it's not me not taking into consideration that there's rookies and that there's new guys on this offensive line. It's me kind of backtracking to off-season movement and pickups.
Yes.
Because this is a lot of this is contingent upon depth or lack thereof.
Okay, what you're asking for here is a healthy relationship. What I am presenting to you that the Patriots are doing on the offensive line is a toxic relationship. That's what it is. It changes every 5 minutes. Yes,
yeah.
it changes. You don't know what's going on. You don't know who can do what. You're just trying to figure it out. That's what it is.
Subliminal messages.
Yeah, Drake May comes in the huddle. He says, all right, guys, figure it out on 3. 1, 2, 3. Figure it out.
He would never. He would never. Don't put that on Drake May. I have read how much maturity he has shown.
Come on, guys.
That is not it.
Don't get me killed on 3. 1, 2, 3. Don't get me killed.
That could be fair. That'd be my huddle if I was a QB.
Coming up next on Foxborough Rush, we will show some love to the rookies. One in particular, I just teased here saying that I think he won the job today. We'll do that next, right here on Foxborough Rush. Roll with us. Welcome back to Foxborough Rush. It's my favorite time of the show. Offensive lineman talk. Ooh, ooh. Come on, come on. Ooh, ooh.
I wanted to be there with you.
Yeah, I wasn't there either. Jared Wilson.
I'm there.
Let's talk about him.
Let's talk
You
about
love
him.
those Georgia dogs.
I love those dogs.
So he was drafted, going back to draft night, and everyone's saying, well, he's versatile. He's a center, but he could play guard. And I remember thinking, that's a damn center. But sure
him at
enough,
center.
already, early in
this day.
camp, he's looking good, making great first impressions. And it appears as though, well, I'll be damned, maybe he is a left guard, Kasey.
Yep. Well, this is where, and probably hypocritical to say, this is where the versatility does come into tap tremendously. But you said it. I mean, all of the rave in terms of draft grades and breakdowns and stuff, while versatile was a big part of that, it was how he flexes at center.
Yeah.
And I feel like his rope of figuring out if he can compete for that was a little shortened. I mentioned it earlier in Boston's End of the Chat, but last week when George was on the ground, they were talking about how he was making it competitive versus Bradbury at center.
Yeah, he was.
And now all of a sudden, today he was more in regard for guard. Exactly. Yep. So I think that it helps because of the expectation and how you see a lot of offensive linemen come out of Georgia and be NFL starters and readies. Like their timeline is quite shortened. So for him to kind of heat up the competition in both ends here, I feel like it could be very helpful for the Patriots. It's just pick one.
Yeah, well, listen, he was a 3rd round pick. So if you're him, you're just like wherever you need me.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't, look.
He was listed as a sleeper for the draft, though, so I don't think he has to pitch too hard.
Yes. Well, I just mean in a sense of if Will Campbell, if we're sitting up here on Foxborough Rush together, and we're saying, you know, Will Campbell likely is going to need to slide to guard. That's not good because you just spent the number 4 overall pick for a left tackle for a guy who is a guard. People were already saying that about him.
Yeah.
So if the performance was there, we'd be like, oh, no. But for Jared Wilson, as a 3rd rounder, who came in as a center, cool. You're moving me to guard, no problem. Like, he's going to do whatever is needed to be done to make an impact on this team.
Yeah.
And it's a bonus to us. It's not a like it would be for a Will Campbell. Does that make sense? So I think Jared Wilson, look, and again, I keep going back to this because we've seen this movie over and over again. That's why I'm on repeat here of this offensive line, the past few seasons at least, has been so bad you have to mix and match. So if Jared Wilson, at this stage of his career, the versatility is a strength because, hey, we need you at center this week. Hey, we need you at guard this week. No problem. Just be solid across the board. Control what you can, which is your performance. Be solid across the board. And then in a dream world for all of us, what Kasey wants will happen one day, where it's like we have our guys here, and Jared Wilson can fit in wherever that is, because you've seen him do both. He's your guard or he's your center, whatevs, but eventually you'll have a solid offensive line of the guys you know and can pencil in and go out and road grade people. But we're not there yet.
Maybe I just have PTSD. The Bucs had a lot of offensive line musical chairs that took place, and you would go through weeks of instability Robert Hainsey, when they had to put him at center because Ryan Jensen went down. You can't live up to the expectation of Ryan Jensen, and that was impacting a number of key moments in games.
Sure.
So that's why I'm saying, like, versatility, fantastic thing, but solidifying that now, like, so that you're not doing this, well, he can play this, so let's shuffle it to that in week 3, week 4, week 5, whatever, is going to help a lot. But also it just comes back to the fact that you also have to be stabilized for your quarterback.
Yes, especially a young one at that. If this is some veteran quarterback who's kind of used to stuff like this, life in the NFL, mix and match players, okay. It's almost on the veteran quarterback at that point to get everyone up to speed as they mix and match.
Yeah.
But with a young quarterback, that's a whole different dichotomy. You make a great point there. Now, Jared Wilson himself spoke about the difference. Hey, center, guard, whatevs, I can do it all. Take a listen.
Oh, it's been good. Whatever they ask me to do, I'm a football player. But if they go out there and tell me to play receiver for 2 snaps, I'll do that. So, it's been good. Just trying to hone in on the playbook, study more, left guard and center. Center, you're more vocal. But then at left guard, it makes you open your eyes a little bit more, and you can do a little bit more because you are a center, and you know the calls, and you know what could happen. So it's been good.
We've seen the young offensive lineman working a lot with Morgan Moses. What kind of impact has he had on you so far?
Big Mo, man, he's a vet. I think this is year 12 or 13 for him, one of them. Man, he just knows a lot about the game. I asked him a lot. I'm like, man, even though I asked him the day before, I asked him again. I'm like, how are you here? 12 years. And I was like, how long you plan on keep going? He's like, I want to do 3 more. And I'm like, wow. I asked him what he does in recovery when he goes home and stuff like that. He sleeps a lot. He has a red light sauna, which I don't have enough money for that right now, but hopefully God willing, I can get up to that moment. But man, he's a great teacher. He's just a great guy overall. Great veteran. You're good.
So you didn't practice in the spring. Did you know coming to camp they were going to throw you right in the mix like that?
I was at this. What I was thinking, I was just ready to get back the ball. If whatever they asked me to do, I'd go out there and do it. I didn't really care. I just wanted to go out there, be with the guys, and learn and make mistakes and have fun.
Just a quick follow on the veteran stuff. Garrett Bradbury and Cole Strange have been around the NFL for a long time. You guys are competing, but you're also part of the same department.
Yep.
So how's that gone in leaning on them for assistance?
It's going great. We ask each other questions all the time. Anytime I got a question, I just go to Garrett. Garrett and Cole are very open. There's no tension between us or anything like that. We're teammates at the end of the day, and we want to win. So
I know you played a lot of guard last year, but what has that adjustment been like back to guard?
I'm a football player. Offensive line, you got to be able, if you play one of the interior, you got to be able to play all 3 of the interior. So I played a little bit in college, so coming to the NFL, I knew I had to get ready for that. So I was good with it. And in pre-draft as well, I trained a lot with Duke at guard, so it was good.
I love that last answer. I'm a football player. You can put me up and down this line. I'm going to make it happen. Couple things stood out to me there, okay?
Right, hit me.
I took copious notes, as you know. He said, hey, center, guard, you can put me out there wide receiver a couple plays if you need me to.
Appreciated him saying that.
I was like, is Josh McDaniels listening to this? Because, trick plays.
We've seen those big man plays.
Maybe the kid can get a couple red zone packages.
Yeah.
We'll workshop it. Second thing, I Googled red light sauna because I had never heard of this. I don't know if you have. I've never heard of that. He said Morgan Moses.
They have mask for it now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So at least you have a little
red
background.
light mask and things. They say cell rejuvenation, but I don't know if I'm
okay. It is.
Okay.
I had no clue what this was. All right. At least you had heard of it. So he said Morgan Moses. He credited him for kind of teaching him how to recover, and that's why Morgan Moses's career has been so long, right? Well, he said it was an infrared sauna, so I looked up a red light sauna here. It utilizes infrared light to heat the body. Like other infrared saunas, it also includes red and near-infrared light, LEDs, to deliver red light therapy, which does not rely on heat. The combo offers, here's what you said, both benefits to cellular level effects and muscle relaxation. I need to get my money up to get one of those right there. I ain't never even heard of that.
I don't know how I feel about light therapies, but I do appreciate that Moses is giving recovery tips now because I feel like in a number of interviews that I've done with players, even Gronk said this down in Tampa, he didn't learn how to take care of his body until retirement number 1.
Wow.
And then like really kind of configuring it while he was in retirement and then learning how to come back and actually apply it further. So a lot of these young guys have to realize like you can't just like rely on your talent or athleticism. You got to be able to properly recover so that can extend through for a longer career. So
well, it also shows the importance of having veterans around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Morgan Moses is a guy who's been around the block who can share this kind of and drop these jewels and drop that type of knowledge to a young guy. That matters. You know, a lot of these teams are really young and sort of scoff at having veterans around.
Yeah.
The Patriots are young, but they were smart enough to have some vets sprinkled in there too. And that shows you the benefit case.
Yeah.
Because a lot of young guys, you don't know what you don't know. And if you have a vet around who's been around who can help you out and give you some game, utilize it.
Yeah, and I love that he's a football player, an absolute sponge. Some of the funny reactions that we saw on social media about, well, him working out at guard today, Cole Strange over at center, and then, of course, a Ben Brown, if you haven't heard his name. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But some fans were okay with this. Campbell and Wilson, Campbell at LT, Wilson at LG, promising future. Yep. While on the other side of the spectrum, just put Wilson at center and let him work out the snap chemistry with May. Yeah. And I feel like it was the snap situation that ended up having him taking reps at guard. That's right. How quickly that kind of switched about when we know that all of this is cadence and rhythm and timing. I don't know if it was an easy jump or a quick jump. And then you've got another fan here that said, when does David Andrews come out of retirement?
Yeah.
And that's how some people feel about this offensive line. So I only preference that by saying, like, this is why I think the whole just moving them around all the time thing, it's not really a big solution. What is a realistic timeline to see how things come about? Because center is all about having a rhythm with your quarterback.
Sure it is. Well, Caden Wallace talked about how good this rookie Jared Wilson is. And I think if we can all match his enthusiasm, this kid's going to be pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the standards are super high here. And it's your responsibility every day to step up to the standard and perform. And that's the best work environment ever. So, yeah. I love Doug. I mean, Doug's awesome. He's super no bullshit. Like, he just goes after it, and you get really great corrections from him. He's not sugarcoating anything. He's telling you exactly what he wants. So I love that. Yeah. I wouldn't even say stats-wise. It's really just the mentality we have in the offensive room, putting a hat on a hat, getting vertical through the line on runs, and protecting inside out and pass.
What do you lean on, for help if you have a question about guard? Just any teammates?
Oh, man. Garrett Bradbury, that's my dude. Cole's awesome. Jared's great. Big Mo. I mean, really all of us. We're really fluid with each other, yeah.
Kind of stood out that Jared was the only young guy in that group. So what have you seen from him?
I mean, Jared's a great athlete, and he plays all three in the middle. So he knows everything. Any questions that I have, since I am a little newer at guard, I really go to him and Garrett. I ask Cole a lot too, but Jared's really, really good. So I love asking him questions. He always has like a different perspective than the vet guys would.
There you go. Jared's really bleeping good. That's all you need to know, isn't it?
Yeah.
You try and figure out the offensive line, this kid's pretty bleeping good. That's a good place to start. Although, Case, again, I mean, any timeline you go on, it's showing this offensive line's struggling still. Like,
yeah.
I just, again, I know I'm a broken record. I wish they had done more in the offseason to address this. They do need time, for sure. I get it. And a lot of these guys getting banged up. You got to get back in the fold healthy. I get all that. But just everything we're reading and seeing on these timelines on social media is that they cannot pass protect.
Oh, yeah. And then that was another problem today that was kind of emphasized for a few people that were on the ground during training camp. Pass protection was a problem today. The good news being Drake May still looked good.
Hey!
So the sophomore not be rattled by pass protection issues.
He's used to it.
Yeah, had some good connections with Hooper. Diggs continues to connect with Diggs.
A little Diggs
sighting.
sighting.
Get on Team Diggs. That's all I want to know.
Right.
And Williams, who continues to stand out.
All right.
So.
Okay.
Not all hope is lost, although pass protect, I don't know, figure it out.
Yeah, we got to figure it out. Still to come here on Foxborough Rush. We've talked about some rookies here. Let's get some vets involved. We'll hear from them next, right here on Foxborough Rush. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Foxborough Rush. Travis Thomas, the Kasey Hudson. Okay, now we are out of the offensive lineman woods. Ah, thank you, football gods.
In the clear.
So, since we're doing that, let's talk Jalen Polk, because this is a guy who I've made fun of. I said, feels like him and Javon Baker are wasted draft picks.
Ouch.
Feels like this wide receiver room, which already isn't good, doesn't need any more dead weight hanging around like Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. I've said so many hurtful things, and wouldn't you know it, right on cue, like clockwork, Javon Baker caught a touchdown yesterday. Jalen Polk caught a touchdown yesterday. Okay, I'll back off of you. I'm still on Baker, but I'll back off of Polk now since he's been doing better. He caught a touchdown yesterday. Here he is saying how good he is. Good for you, Jalen Polk.
I don't go off the narrative or what people think of me. I know who I am, and I know the work that I put in each and every day to go out there and help this team, man. So I'm gonna keep working hard each and every day. I'm gonna keep going into my preparation and applying it out there on the field. So that's what I'm gonna keep doing.
If you acknowledge last year was not exactly what you were looking for.
I don't even think about last year. We got a new staff, new team, energy great around here. So I'm here now.
Okay, so there you go. I'm backing off you for now.
So harsh about this guy.
Because, Case, they were draft picks. Him and Baker both gave you nothing. Now, Polk gave you a little more than Baker did, who literally gave you nothing. Baker gave you nothing.
Okay.
Polk gave you a little something. Emphasis on little. But he's saying, well, I'm not even thinking about last year because you didn't do a damn thing last year. So, good. Don't think about last year. I don't want to think about it either. We need you this season. And again, he's looking better now. I'll take it. Please contribute when the games matter.
I think my bright spot in all of this is that as soon as Diggs got to New England, he kind of clung to Polk in a sense. He was ready to mentor to him because he was already seeing skill sets that he figured this kid's got it. You just have to figure out how to take it to the next step. And he has spent an immense amount of time with him throughout the offseason. He was part of the Drake May camp in Carolinas when he rallied the troops and brought them in together. So I feel like this is where we're going to figure out how quickly and how well he can learn and apply. And I think that he has somebody who wants to see him succeed in that sense also. I mean, you're talking about a guy where the expectation was how can he create separation, how can he be a better route runner and put himself in the best position to do so.
I hope he helps all these guys because I need this wide receiver collective to be better. We're all anticipating Stephon Diggs, barring injury, of course, to be productive and to be a true number one wide receiver, a true number one target for Drake May. But I need, and you're saying it, maybe Diggs is helping all these guys out, but I need the collective. I need the entire crew, the entire wide receiving core to get better. And if Jalen Polk can be better, if Javon Baker can be better, that will help. But so far, I haven't seen enough. Mike Vrabel, though, also has high praise for what we're seeing lately from Jalen Polk.
Mike, what have you seen from Jalen Polk since he returned from injury?
Well, again, a player that worked extremely hard to get back and to be ready to go. And I feel like just my first year with Jim and his staff and Frank and our return to play and, the way that we can, do their rehab and then transfer over to Frank and his staff. And he knows how we practice and working on those skills and the drills that the coaches are going to have them do. So he worked extremely hard with those guys to his credit. And then, I would say that there's been some positive things that he's done, since he's been back. So we focus on getting back as quickly as possible. I didn't see the mental errors, which sometimes occur when you are getting the installation but not able to go and rep it. So we'll see how today goes with Jalen and the rest of the guys.
Mike, a guy like Caden.
Some of this stuff too, Casey, is, you're not going to keep all these wide receivers you have right now.
Right.
Somebody ain't going to make it. So, hey, if you're Jalen Polk right now, quite literally, you're playing for your job, which is it's just insane to me. This is why I keep throwing him and Javon Baker under the bus, because it's like, damn, these were draft picks. This isn't like Efton Chisholm, who's all the hype's great, but at least that's an undrafted player, okay? These guys were drafted, brought here to make an impact.
Yeah.
Neither one of them did anything for you.
They were brought in a mess.
They were brought in a mess.
Yeah.
I cannot argue that. But I'm just saying, you didn't contribute at all. So now you're like literally fighting for your football life. You're trying to stay on the team. I think Polk's doing a good job of maybe going to make this team. I would think he would, but he's going to make this team because he's earning it.
Yeah, I think he makes a better case to slot a position for a number of reasons, because I think Vrabes was sitting there talking about how extremely hard he worked to get back, how he needs to take care of himself. Staying healthy is always a factor, but say you come into a midst of madness, then health is not on your side. Now you're learning a new system, but you have a veteran take you under your wing. Like, I feel like he's feeling layers of pressure to make sure he can solidify his job, but this is a reason why he got drafted to begin with, to see some of these connections between him and Drake May that we're seeing in training camp, and seeing how much he can kind of absorb what these leaders, what these veterans, and what wide receivers who see the potential in him are speaking over to him or kind of breaking down, and how it's going to translate through. So I was never lost out on Polk. I think that I'm very big on scenario, and I think that he's going to be put in a better scenario this upcoming season.
Well, I'm just doing the math here now. I mean, most teams keep 5 or 6 wide receivers, okay? There is a log jam here. Let's, for the sake of combo, say the Patriots keep 6, okay? I think there's 5 that are automatic.
Who?
Diggs, Pop Douglas. I think because he's new and you paid him and he's the only big body you have, I'll go Mac Hollins.
But what's his timeline?
Well, I'm just saying who you're going to keep.
Okay.
I think Booty you keep because he was making plays for you last year. In a receiving room that was even worse. So I would keep him, and then obviously you draft Kyle Williams. So that's 5. Now you're talking Polk for one position. You're talking Polk, who we're talking about now, Javon Baker. You still have Kendrick Bourne. I mean, this could be what we're seeing here. Could be some Hunger Games type, like who's left on this island. Jalen Polk's fighting for a job. Yeah, hell yeah, it's what I want.
Yeah,
you got to earn it.
Especially when people look at this wide receiving room and think, oh my gosh, it's not sexy enough. Well, now you have an opportunity to kind of, heat up the competition. But the way that these guys are going to be trying to declare a position, I think, and let's put this out into context too.
Okay.
You might mention a level of skills that it's on that list there, but sometimes there's just this ridiculous connection between a quarterback and certain guys, like in a blink. And those are those connections that are going to help you not only get down the field, but in those significant plays or those third down opportunities that you've got to be much better at this season. Like sometimes in the blink, it's chemistry over anything else. So it's seeing who is already just kind of having that nonchalant, or not have to overthink connect with.
All right, so we're talking offense. I want to pivot to defense because I do think, and I've said this a bunch of times, I think many of us feel this way. The defense will be the strength of this team this season, okay? So if that's going to be the case, Milton Williams is going to be a huge part of that. I mean, obviously we know you gave him all the money in the world in the offseason, rightfully so, not taking any shots here. And I do think he's the X factor, really the entire unit of the defensive line. I think the defensive line is the X factor for success of the Patriots defense in totality, even though we talk about the 1-2 punch a lot of Gonzalez and Davis. But it don't mean anything if you're not getting the push up front with Milton Williams and others. So I think hearing from Milton Williams here about this defense and this D-line is important because I do think in the end, this Patriots defense, which could be special, will only go as far as a defensive lineman can take them. Here's Milton Williams.
I mean, of course you're trying to win a rep, but, it's a drill. So you can play the drill a little bit if you want to, or you can set it honest. But like I said, that's just how it goes. You're trying to figure out a way to win every rep. If they're going to play the drill, you still got to figure out a way to try to win. But that's how it goes.
How have you gotten acclimated to this system? Obviously playing for Vic Fangio last year in Philly, now here with Coach T. How have you gotten acclimated to the system? Are there similarities? What are some of the differences?
It's a lot of similarities. I'll say the differences is everything is about getting off the ball. That's the main thing. I'm working on getting adjusted to the technique is, getting off, make sure I get my feet in the ground, and just having that bend and that leverage, and everything. Pass, run, all those different things. I say that's probably the biggest difference. With Fangio, it was kind of more, we're getting off, but we're kind of reading at the same time, playing the fronts. This is like we attacking. We ain't reading nothing. We attacking and trying to get penetration.
You've had some battles with rookie Jared Wilson. So what have you seen from him this game?
Nah, he gonna be a solid player. He gonna be a solid player. he got a good coach. You know, he got a good player, and Mike Owenu, is that how you say his name? So he got a good vet in his room that he learning from. No, he good. He got good balance for a young player like that. So, no, the future is bright for him.
When you go back and watch tape of practice the last couple of days, what are some things that you've learned either about the defense or your D-line that you didn't realize when you were coming off the field?
All right, say that again. My bad.
Rewatching tape of practice, what are a couple things you've learned rewatching it that you didn't know coming off the last couple of days?
What am I seeing that I didn't see on the field? I mean, I don't know how to answer that. I mean, we out here working. We get to say we of course we're gonna see stuff that we need to correct and work on. But we come out here, we busting our tail every day. So we're just trying to go in there. If we didn't do something right, get with the coach, make the corrections, and try to come out and not make the same mistake.
Coach Mazzulla was here from the Celtics. Do you have any basketball experience in your background?
Nah, I played back like my freshman year in high school, but I had stopped playing and just focused on football after my sophomore year of high school. But I do watch the NBA though. So I was big man. I couldn't really dribble that good. I'ma just foul, rebound, play defense.
Okay, Kasey, I was just thinking about this.
Talk to me.
Patriots in total defense last season were ranked 22nd. Not good enough, we get it, right? But the offense was a mess, but whatever. I'm thinking if this team can get, and this is kind of conservative, if this team can get closer to right outside of the top 10 even, maybe 12 to 15 range, 11 to 15 range-ish, right? Mm-hmm. Which is very doable. I mean, this should be a playoff team. And I think I look back and I said, well, where were the teams in that range? Were they playoff teams?
Okay.
I'll be doggone. Chargers, playoff team. Steelers, playoff team. This is like 11, 12, 13 ranked here. Commanders, playoff team. The team who was 15th ranked in total defense was the Seattle Seahawks, who barely missed the postseason. So if this defense can take that very realistic leap, from 22 to that top 15 range, and we think they could be special. We think they could be beyond that. But if they can get in that range, Case, this could be a playoff team. I really believe it.
The defensive edge on here is going to be probably the tone setter to see where this team can actually go. Some other things that I like is that when you got a guy like a menace like Milton,
yes, he is.
Kind of all like painting the picture of where things are translating for him, and there's not that many differences. He just mentioned coming off the ball and technique, but the fact that he's already locking in so much on that, like you can count on them being able to execute a point of emphasis, which was having and being stronger in the trenches for the defensive line and getting to the quarterbacks and making sure that they're applying that pressure like a tidal wave over and over and over and over and over again.
No doubt. All right, we hear from you next as we wrap up this fine television program on Foxborough Rush in the latest edition of Mailbag. Get in here. We want to hear from you. Send those comments. We'll do it next right here on Foxborough Rush. Isn't he lovely? Look at Drake May. That's a beautiful pass right there. That boy had touch, accuracy, everything. Look at him. Look at the command, Kasey. That's a leader. That's a leader of men. Look at this. Ah! Only where the defense could not get it. Look at Drake. Yeah, you're open. Zing! I mean, he's throwing lasers, straight darts. Look at this. Drake May drops back, looking, right over the middle. I mean, this guy's incredible. I love him. Look at this. Watch this. Yeah. Yeah. Touchdown, baby. Every time. Keep it going. I could watch this all night long. All night. All night long. Drake May throwing bombs. Pew. I love this dude.
I'd be more phased if I didn't grow up with boys. That was who needs a midday pick-me-up? No one. No one.
I get fired up for Drake May.
We do need a midday mailbag, though. That's what we need.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Mark G 372-837. That's a lot of numbers you got going. Drake May over Jalen Hurts. This is where he wants to weigh in. I would not take Drake May over Jalen Hurts. Hurts is a proven commodity, and May is not. I would agree, Mark. I'm not sure who said they would take Drake May over Jalen Hurts.
So we had, I think this was a George and I conversation. It was a playful conversation, but in other words, in like certain scenarios. But we
Yeah.
were speaking more towards potential, like the guys at their full potential. So
Okay.
while you are right, we haven't seen the proven commodity that is, or maybe Drake May.
Yeah.
What the expectation is and where we think he will go career-wise. I think me and George were on the same page there. Can't speak to it. It felt like a long time ago.
MSWCOZ on Jalen Polk says, Polk is a huge miss by Wolf. Traded down, passed on McConkey, pick this bum in Baker. Okay, I didn't call him a bum.
I was like,
but
that's not
I
right.
do agree with a lot of what you're saying there, although I'm holding out hope on Jalen Polk. I have given up on Javon Baker. That's just Ma. Mustache Strange on Kyle Williams says, I promise Kyle Williams won't be a bust. His character and his attitude has me convinced he's a real deal, people. I hope you're right. Listen, I was real reckless on draft night. I ain't gonna lie. I said a lot of mean things about Kyle Williams. Not the player per se, more that I thought the Patriots should have gone after what I call a big body Benz. That
Okay.
means a big physical wide receiver.
Right.
They had him on the board that night at that moment. We won't get into
You
names.
want Mr. Shifty?
I'm not going to say any names. And they took Kyle Williams instead. And I felt passionate that they made the wrong pick based on what I said here, but not the player. I know he can play. And I
Interesting
think he's
that
going to
you
be
felt
fine
so
here.
many emotions draft night. I felt like he fit the bill in terms of like Patriots wide receiving room.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You were right
When you
because
copy
he's
and
fitting right in.
When you copy and paste it, but to add to that, Williams was listed as a standout today for training camp and
He
had one of
was.
those killer connections with Drake May. I don't have the sound effects, I'll never do it, but yes, Williams, thumbs up.
I could do that all day.
I know you could.
I mean, you saw that.
I know you could.
By the way, go to NessonWickedWearables.com. Get yourself a Foxborough Rush t-shirt. Casey and I are saving up. We're trying to get an infrared sauna here at the Nesson studio. And the only way we can do it is with your help. So help us, help you, help all of us together. NessonWickedWearables.com. Infrared sauna incoming. Thanks for watching Foxborough Rush. For Travis Thomas and the Kasey Hudson. Till next time, hoot hoot, Drake May, touchdown, peace.
That would be the calm in this.